What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. Big Rig KO back again for another video. Once again, man, I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. I can't say that enough. It helps me out so much, guys, for you to like and subscribe to my videos. So I appreciate that. Once again, thanks again for everybody who listens. And if you take something away from these videos, I really, that's my goal for every video. Plus to give you the update to what's going on in my CDL school. So this video, guys, this video is basically me hitting the wall. A lot of the times things can be tough for you because you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And that's basically what happened to me. As you see from the title, I jumped out of the truck during my CDL class. And yeah, let's get into it, man. Let me tell you what happened. Let's get into it. Once again, this happened a couple days ago. It's like I said, there's a lot of stressful things that's going on in my life right now. Of course, if you guys seen the first video that I did for this channel or been aware of my channel, you know I don't have a job right now. So every day is kind of like a chip on the shoulder. I'm in CDL school to hopefully gain some employment and actually change around my life. So there's a lot of pressure for me to get this and get it down and actually maintain it so I can get that CDL license. You know, all of that came to a head on Wednesday. I wouldn't necessarily say it was my fault, but here's what happened without beating around the bush. So when I was in the truck, basically, if you guys seen the last video, I kind of showed you the environment of the truck, the inside of the truck. And it's always good when it's kind of that environment. It's a lot of laughter going on. It's a lot of things happening where everybody's talking, but there's still a lot of learning going on at the same time. You kind of get something from your trainer and you kind of take that in stride. But this was kind of an it was kind of a mixed bag situation. But that day, we always start by gathering around our coordinator for the day. We gathered around the coordinator for 160, and we talked about basically the previous day. But today he kind of sent the instructors into the trailer because, like I said, this is an outside. Of course, we're in the yard, you know, trucks and things like that. He sent the instructors into the trailer because he wanted to have a private conversation with the students, basically saying that he didn't want to hear about the students disrespecting the teachers, and they had a lot of knowledge to give, which I agreed 1000%. Anybody that knows me personally knows I'm not a disrespectful person by no means. So, you know, I kind of took that as like, whatever, you know, he's definitely not talking to me. You know, I've given, I've given my all every day. I wore my heart on my sleeve. I wear my heart on my sleeve, yes, because I am going through a lot just trying to get this done. But I feel like every guy there is pretty much in the same position that I am. We're all looking for new careers. We're all looking for new jobs. So whatever. So once again, he's not talking to me. But he just made it clear that it wouldn't be tolerated. And he will send people home for disrespecting, you know, the trainers. So, yep. Okay. So we started off the day pretty much in this school. You got to take control of your learning. You got to take control of it, because if you don't, then you're going to be out. You can't wait on somebody else. If you're in the skills section, of course you want to give everybody a chance, but if you're seeing an open truck, you better get in that open truck and go practice your skills. You're supposed to do it once and then get out of it. You do all 3 maneuvers once, get out of the truck, and then let somebody else go. But at least for me, anyway, I'm not gonna let a truck sit too long without me going. I don't care if I just got out of a truck. If I see guys talking on the yard or females talking on the yard and they're not getting into that truck, I'm gonna go get into that truck. I'm gonna go practice, because unlike a lot of them, I paid out of my pocket for this training, so I have to get the most out of it. We have, when the yard comes out, when we go into the yard the first day, we gather around the instructor, like I said earlier, and he pretty much breaks us down. Who wants pre-trip? Who wants skills? Who wants to drive? So this morning, because previously I didn't get a chance to drive because of different circumstances, the instructors had a meeting and things like that. So I'm always conscious I need to go drive at least every day, because that is where my weak spot is right now, at least in my mind. I need to learn how to downshift properly. I'm still having problems downshifting. So I want to go drive this morning. So remind you, this is previously after what he talked about. The class is basically disrespecting the instructors and things like that. So I'm like, once again, it's not talking to me. It's fine. And I'm not trying to make this video too long. I'm gonna get to the point. So I go into the group that needs to drive. He splits us off into 4 people, as he usually does, and the 5th person would be the trainer. So I get a trainer. I won't name any names or whatever, but she's a female, of course. She female. So we get into the truck, and it's 4 guys and her. If you guys, once again, I really want you guys to look at the last video, because then you'll kind of get what I'm saying in this video. But this video, the energy was just off. As soon as we got into the cab, the energy was off. It was dead silent. It was me and 4 other guys that one of the guys I've driven with before, 3 of them I never have. Now the female instructor I've been in the cab with at least about 4 times since my training. I think she's a great trainer. She's a great trainer. I believe, like she said, there's a lot that I can learn. Like Greg said, there's a lot that I can learn from her. I agree. But today, it just seemed like the energy was just off. And I'm like, what is going on? So in my mind, I'm thinking somebody in this truck had a problem or an issue. And I think that's what Greg was talking about earlier. My instructor was talking about earlier, where somebody was disrespecting the instructor. So whatever. One gentleman drives. He does great. We get on the highway. He drives or whatever. While he's driving, the instructor on the passenger seat is basically coming back and talking to us in the back. Which once again, I'm looking at him shift. My laser focus is on him shifting, because once again, my weak area is me downshifting at this point. I'll get it, but it's at this point is me downshifting. So I'm of course laser focused. There's a guy on the left side of me, the right side of me, and the left side of me. The guy on the left is on his phone. Now I've been in a lot of cabs before. I've been in a lot of cabs before with other instructors. No instructor has told anyone that they could not be on their phone while they're in the back of the cab. She looks at him and says, well, do you know the test route? And he says, kinda, sorta, I know it. And she was like, well, I think you should be off of your phone while I'm showing you the test route. So he's like, well, ma'am, he was super respectful, super respectful. So he was like, well, basically, he said, ma'am, I kind of know the test route. I think I'm fine. Nobody else has told me that I had to be off of my phone, kind of just in that tone or whatever. And then she was like, okay. So you could tell, I was like, once that happened, I knew that's what my Greg was talking about in the beginning of the day. He was basically saying somebody had a problem, and it was them two that had the problem, because like I said from the start, the energy was off. So And once again, I'm trying to hurry this through. But I knew something was going on between the two. So I'm like, it was them, you know. She basically gets mad at him, basically kind of just saying, like, I'm not going to get off my phone, basically. I know what's going on. I know how to drive at this point. But I don't need to know. I don't need to look at him, pay attention to him shifting when I already know how to shift. Now, when you talk, I get off my phone. I listen. But while you're talking to him, teaching him how to drive, I don't deem it necessary to just be paying attention. Like I said, I'm laser focused because I need to learn how to shift. He feels like he got it already. To me, that's okay. For the instructor, that was a problem. You could tell she got angry, she got upset. So she got upset at him basically. So she was like, well, when you get in the seat, then I ain't gonna have to tell you nothing, right? He was like, no, ma'am, I'm a student. Of course you're gonna have to instruct me, as in your job. It's your job to instruct me. So, you definitely, you'll have to tell me something. I definitely agree that you will have to. So, it shouldn't be like that or whatever. She was like, basically she cut him off in the middle of that and just said, you could just go back to the school. That's fine. So she started routing the driver back to the school or whatever. So basically he started telling her, he was like, well, if you're going to talk to Greg, you make sure you tell him the whole thing, because once again, Greg said, if you're being disrespectful, you're going to send you home. So he was trying to make sure that she told him everything that happened on the truck as far as him being respectful. And like I said, the dude was real respectful to her. He just had a disagreement to her. Now, whether he should have gotten off the phone or not, please debate that in the comments. But long story short, long story long at this point, he got off the truck. We went back to school. He got off the truck or whatever. I had to go to the bathroom, so I get off the truck too. I go to the bathroom. They both get off the truck. They both run to Greg, which was hilarious to me. So when they run to Greg or whatever, I'm walking back. Just so happens my teacher's walking back also. She starts talking. She's all amped up. Oh, I ain't got to take this sugar honey iced tea. Try not to curse on this, but I ain't got to take this from nobody. Y'all, I got my CDL. Y'all trying to learn from me. And I was like, man, hey, look, I'm trying to learn from you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you or whatever. I want to drive or whatever. She was like, okay, cool, then you next. Mistake. Should have never been next. Now, once again, I've been in the cab at least 4 times with this lady. Never had an issue. Today, she was just amped up. You could tell. I'm driving or whatever, and I don't have everything perfect. Like I told you guys, I need to work on my shifting. So when I'm downshifting, I don't know what gear I'm in. I'm thinking like I'm in 6, I'm going to 5. I messed up, I went to 7. Or whatever. I went to 7, or I forget to put my selector down. And instead of going into 6, I'm in 7, whatever. Either way, I made a wrong move. She asked me, why didn't I ask if I didn't know what gear I'm in? I tell her, I'm like, well, I didn't know I didn't know the unknown of not knowing what gear I was in. I thought I was in the correct gear. That's why I made the choice. I didn't think to ask what gear I was in because I thought I knew I was correct. So therefore it's like trying to ask a question in the future of not knowing that you need to ask a question. I didn't know what gear I thought I knew what gear I was in, so I thought I was making the right selection. Obviously, I didn't know what gear I was in, so I didn't make the correct selection. So I tried to explain that to her, and she just got upset. And me, I'm kind of being combative at the time because I'm thinking like, well, I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, I was like, I agree, but I mean, I agree with you because, like, once again, I thought I was making the right choice. I'm sorry I made the wrong choice, but once again, I'm a student. So I didn't get what was all the back and forth for. Like, I made the wrong choice. Let's move forward. So as I was telling her this, of course, she just let me mess up again. She was like, okay. So she stopped talking. She lets me mess up again and says, see, that's my point, and tells me to pull over. So I look at my watch. I've been driving for a total of 15 minutes. I'm not about to sit in the back of the truck for another 2 hours before lunchtime. Once again, as if this video is running kind of long, but in the beginning of this video, I said you have to take control of your learning in this school. You cannot let these teachers dictate what you do because you only have so much time to do it. So in my mind, I'm not about to sit back there in this back and just watch somebody else drive and watch somebody else take up all the learning. I just watched somebody else drive. We got 2 hours for lunchtime. I'm leaving. So we off on the side of the highway. She tells me to pull over. So I'm like, nah. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna pull over. I pulled over. I grabbed my ID and I leave the truck. She's like, don't drive her. Don't leave the truck. Driver, don't leave the truck. I'm like, I'm going back to the school. I'm not about to sit back there for another 2 hours. So she got upset. She was like, fine. She closed the door. I left. I leave. I go back to the school. Now, when I go back to the school, I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, crap, did I do the wrong thing here? And in my mind, I'm like, no, you did the right thing because you need to take control of your learning. If I'm going to be sitting back there for 2 hours, I could be doing skills. I could be doing pre-trip. I could be doing something else to, once again, to promote the money that I spent. I spent almost $3,000 to $4,000 to be in this school. I'm not about to just waste my time on my money. So I go to Greg. Greg's pissed off. Obviously, she calls Greg before I get there. Tells him the whole story. Greg sits me down. He asks me what happened. I run through the story. He was like, man, it's no issue. He was like, I told him about the tension that I was feeling in the truck. And he was like, how did you know it was between them two? I was like, man, you could cut the tension with a knife when I got in the truck. Like, I've been in the truck with this lady 4 previous times, and none of this has ever happened. We all had we never had a problem. We all laughed and we all cool. But today it was just different. And I'm not, and once again, take control of your learning. I told him that. He was like, man, I'm not, he was like, you shouldn't have jumped out the truck. We don't want our students to do that because that's a danger to you and the people in the cab. You know, you're on the side of the highway, anything could have happened to you. But at the same time, I totally understand what you did and why you did it. He let me, it was a 5-minute discussion. He let me do my pre-trip. But really, and once again, this video is going super long. I'm looking at the time. Really, this video is just to show the newcomers, man, take control of your learning. If you are sponsored by a company, definitely don't do what I did. Definitely do not do what I did because you have a lot more consequence. But if you are paying out of your pocket, just know that this training is for you. If you paid out of your pocket, they can send you home, they can write you up, blah, blah, blah. But no, you have to take control of the few times you get to drive, the few times you get to pre-trip, the few times you get to do your skills. Do not let these people dictate what you can do and what you can't do as far as when it's your time to do it. You cannot wait on anybody else. You don't be too nice. Kind of bully your way into certain sections that you need to work on. It is just imperative that you do that. I think she had a bad day. When I saw her again, I apologized to her, not basically because not necessarily because I jumped out the truck, in which I talked to certain people about it. They said I shouldn't even apologize to her, but I just wanted to let her know that she wasn't the reason I jumped out the truck. The reason why I jumped out the truck is because I needed to take care of my learning. I'm not going to have you just sit me in the back and not do anything for 2 hours. But I shouldn't apologize to her at all. I should have just kept, face and whatever, but I know I'm gonna have to work with her again. So I told her, I was like, hey, look, I'm sorry things got emotional there. I shouldn't have jumped out the truck. I apologize for that, but I just believed that I needed to take, once again, control of my learning here. She was like, it's okay. I'm glad you came up and talked to me, because once again, we're going to be driving together and I don't want any animosity between us. And I told her, there's no animosity here. I respect you as a trainer. I want to learn from you. She's been doing this shit for like 13 years or 14 years, I think. So yeah, man, I just wanted to give you guys a video about kind of the obstacles that you'll face, some of the things that you will face in the truck driving industry as far as the CDL training is concerned. These instructors, man, they have hard days, just like the students have hard days. There's a lot on my shoulders. I need a job, and I put that on me when I get behind that wheel sometime. And I shouldn't do that because it affects the way I drive. So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys looking at this video once again. And once again, like and subscribe, comment below if you guys had an experience like that, or if you guys had any experiences that kind of I can relate to. Yeah, any encouragement helps at this point. So, hey, man, I appreciate you guys. I hope y'all have a good one. Y'all know what it is.